This isn't Photoshop. This isn't a filter. This is happening right now. And people all over the world are stopping, looking up, and not quite sure what they feel. Terror? Wonder? Some deep, ancient fear they can't name. The moon is our closest neighbor in space. We see it every night. We think we know it. But a few times a year, it becomes something else entirely. Something red. And today, we're going to find out what's actually happening up there, in the shadow. Humans have watched lunar eclipses for thousands of years, and for thousands of years, they were terrified. The ancient Babylonians believed the blood moon was a sign of divine wrath. The Inca thought a heavenly jaguar was devouring the moon, so they screamed, beat drums, hurled spears at the sky to drive it away. The Maya built entire temples to predict these events. To them, this wasn't astronomy. It was a message. But what if the ancients weren't just panicking? What if they noticed something we've forgotten to pay attention to? Today, we're looking at the blood moon from two angles, the scientific and the slightly darker. So, the science. A lunar eclipse happens when Earth positions itself directly between the sun and the moon. Earth casts a shadow. The moon steps inside it. But why does it turn red? This is where the physics gets beautiful. Earth's atmosphere acts like an enormous prism. It scatters blue and violet light in all directions, which is exactly why our sky looks blue during the day. But red and orange light, it passes through. It bends around the curve of the Earth, and it lands, softly, on the surface of the moon. In other words, what you're seeing on the moon is the combined glow of every single sunrise and sunset on Earth, all at once, simultaneously. If you were standing on the moon during an eclipse, you'd see Earth surrounded by a ring of fire, like it's burning at the edges. And you'd be looking at that ring, knowing that somewhere in that glow is home. That's not terrifying, that's breathtaking. But let's go back to the dark, because there are things that are hard to explain away with logic. 1504. Christopher Columbus is stranded in Jamaica. Supplies are gone. The local Arawak people have stopped helping. Columbus had astronomical tables aboard his ship. He knew a total lunar eclipse was coming. He gathered the tribal chiefs and said, "My God is angry with you. Tonight, he will take the moon away." The moon turned blood red. People fell to their knees. They brought food, water, everything they had. Columbus appealed to God for mercy, and the moon slowly returned. Was it manipulation? Absolutely, but it also shows something raw. The blood moon had a power over people that went beyond reason. Now, something that made millions of people stare at the sky just a few years ago, 2014 to 2015, 4 consecutive total lunar eclipses, what astronomers call a tetrad. Every single one fell on a major Jewish holy day, Passover and Sukkot, 2 years in a row. Some theologians called it a sign, a turning point, the end of an era. What happened? The Crimean Crisis, the Israel-Gaza conflict, sweeping geopolitical shifts? Coincidence? Probably. But people noticed. People looked for connections. And here's the thing. Scientists noticed something strange too. The moon controls the tides. That's not myth. That's physics. Its gravitational pull literally moves the oceans. But the human body is nearly 60% water. Does the moon affect us? Science says probably minimally, but a 2013 study at the University of Basel found that during full moons, people sleep an average of 20 minutes less. Their sleep is shallower. Melatonin levels drop. Some emergency services quietly increase staffing during full moons, not out of superstition, but because the data supports it. And the blood moon is a full moon at its most dramatic. Maybe our ancestors didn't experience this as knowledge. They experienced it as feeling, restlessness, unease, a sharpening of the senses. And they explained it the only way they knew how: gods, omens, prophecy. But they were right about one thing. On these nights, something shifts. All right, you want to see this for yourself. Here's what you need to know. First, lunar eclipses are completely safe to watch with the naked eye. No special filters, no equipment needed. Just look up. Second, your best bet is a clear sky away from city lights, a field, a hillside, a forest clearing. Perfect. I've put the next upcoming dates in the pinned comment below. Set a reminder, because this is one of those things you need to see at least once. When the eclipse ends, the moon comes back. White and gold, familiar, ours. And standing there, looking up, you understand something that's hard to put into words, that we are small, that the universe is vast, that there are things that existed long before us and will continue long after. The ancients looked at that same moon. They were afraid. They prayed. They built legends around it. We now know the physics. We understand atmospheric refraction and orbital mechanics and tetrads. But that chill, the one that runs down your spine when you see it, that hasn't gone anywhere. Because there's a difference between knowing something and feeling it. The blood moon reminds us that we live in a strange, unpredictable, astonishing universe. And sometimes, it makes that point by simply painting the sky red. Pale Voyager. See you in the dark.